The other side of the biomass, we said bioethanol, the other is biodiesel. Biodiesel is used for diesel engines. You do not put biodiesel or diesel in a gasoline engine ever. Anyway, it's vegetable oils, animal fats, recycled greases. It can be used in its pure form or as an additive. It reduces the level of particulates such as carbon monoxide and hydrocarbons. And then overall, biofuels accounted for 1.8 of the world's transportation fuel in 2008. So that shows the level of usage in comparison to other fuel sources. Flexible fuel vehicles, or FFV, run both ethanol and gasoline. And it's a way that the computer adjusts the systems, the spark, and the fuel injections. Hybrid vehicles, let's see, hybrid vehicles are a multiple propulsion system of the flexible fuel vehicles. Although the hybrids have a high cost impact, maintenance and reliability and longevity are also issues. And so I mentioned earlier the controversy on biofuels, and mostly that stems from sugar, starch, vegetable, grain feedstocks that should be used for human food consumption rather than fuel, according to some who have concerns about the use of biofuels. They say that it results in food shortages and raising of prices for food. And so there's a book that I showed earlier for an earlier segment, and I'm going to show it again. This is from CSA News, the October 2010 edition, and it's Sustainable Bioenergy, Fueling Biomass Plants Without Degrading the Land. And I read a little bit of it the other day. I'm going to look for the part that I didn't read. As the landscape is scoured for corn stalks and woody debris, or sown in switchgrass and other energy crops, changes in land use and impacts to the environment will surely result. And so what they're nervous about is soil erosion. According to Humberto Blanco, an SSSA member and assistant professor at Kansas State University's Agricultural Center in Hayes, crop residues are like a blanket. And if you remove that blanket cover from the soil, then the soil will suffer. Soil, and this is the end of that quote, but soils stripped indiscriminately of residues are more I can't say that word, are more likely to be exposed to wind and water erosion for one, but a larger concern is the loss of soil organic carbon. Hello, I just got a message from someone, and hello back, and welcome to the show, and you're definitely invited to participate if you like my chat. I'll just read out your comments to the audience. But anyway, so that's part of the controversy about biofuels. There's a book, let's see, that I picked up from the Renewable Fuel Summit last January, and I'll put it right there. It's called Ethanology, and then it was produced by Growth Energy, and I can read out their website for you. It's growthenergy.org, and then there's also shareethnology.com, and it's coming from America's Ethanol Producers. And so it's a pretty funny book. It's neat. It's kind of humorous, taking kind of ironic look at the whole food versus fuel issue. Basically, what they say is ethanol production uses only the starch from the corn kernel, leaving the protein and nutrients for animal feed. And that's from the Nebraska Corn Board. And so Dig Dog is saying, what's your name, show name? Is this your normal show time? My name is Lee McQueen, and the show's name is Blue Green Fusion. This is not the normal show time. Normally, I'm on Saturdays, 1 to 2. I had a coughing fit, about halfway through the show, and I couldn't really recover from it. I'm feeling much better today. So normally Saturdays 1 to 2 you can catch me, and then also you can go to DesMoinesAmplified.com and see prior shows. Or if you miss my showtime, you can always leave comments there. I think there's a way to communicate with me by email there. All right. Let's see. There's also a breakdown of the costs and benefits of alcohol from corn, and this is because of the use of farming equipment, cultivation, planting, fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, irrigation systems, harvesting, transport of feedstock for processing, fermentation, distillation, drying, and then transport to fuel terminals and retail pumps. And so various organizations provided fact sheets, and that's including the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association. Okay. They're at www.iowarfa.org, and they did like a whole breakdown of the cost benefits of, and you won't be able to see that, but they did acknowledge food and fuel. And so if you go to that website, you'll get more information from them. And then also there's another fact sheet that I got, and this is coming from the National Biodiesel Board, and it's called Biodiesel Myths Busted. And one of the myths that I noticed that they bust here is biodiesel contributes to rising food prices. And I'm going to read a little bit from that. Myth: biodiesel contributes to rising fuel prices. Fact: produced from a variety of renewable resources such as plant oils, fats, recycled grease, and even algae, biodiesel is the most diverse fuel on the planet, and soybean-based biodiesel actually has a positive impact on the world's food supply. Processing biodiesel from soybeans uses only the oil portion of the soybean, leaving all of the protein available to nourish livestock and humans. So that's their take on that, and you can get more information from www.biodieselsustainability.com. So there's all sorts of people weighing in on the issues, and it's probably recommended that you look at several resources in order to find the very best information. But let's see. There's also something coming from the American Ag and Energy Council, and what they say is that they believe that America should embrace a robust renewable fuel standard and work with farmers, scientists, policymakers to find public policy solutions that ease America's dependence on foreign sources of energy, promote domestic renewable and alternative energy solutions, and advocate for effective modern agriculture practices. Okay. So, speaking of scientists, we've got some information from Iowa State University. Let's see. Leadership in the bioeconomy. Now, Iowa agriculture is poised to fulfill a new role in energy security. Iowa agriculture, with its unparalleled soils, climate, and educated people, will make possible the transformation from a petroleum economy to a bioeconomy. And so that's Iowa State University's take on things. They also produce something that explains another concept they have. It's a biocentury research farm, building capacity through partnership. And that's kind of filled with more of their efforts to balance food production and fuel production. Let's see. Even more interesting is something from Iowa State University. They have what's called Center for Crops Utilization Research. And if you can see that website there, it's an Iowa State University website. You can visit for more information. And they say that their focus is on adding value to Midwest crops, biorenewables development, the application of biotechnology to increase value, and technology transfer to the private sector.